The August air hung thick and heavy as I pulled into my driveway, drained from another long day of remote coding. All I wanted was a cold drink and a peaceful swim. Years ago, my mother and I had saved every spare penny to build a private retreat, a modest backyard oasis, all legally documented and permitted. It had been 6 months since I laid her to rest, and every time I stepped inside the house, the silence pressed on me. No more hearing her call from the kitchen. "Malik, you home?" But that evening, when I walked around to the backyard expecting stillness, I was jolted. A group of white women had taken over my patio. Lawn chairs were scattered across the area, coolers half open, a Bluetooth speaker blasted pop music, and empty wine bottles reflected the fading light. At the center of it all was Vivian Carter, the self-appointed enforcer of the neighborhood HOA who lived 3 houses down. Her sharp features were hidden behind designer sunglasses, and she carried herself with a kind of arrogance that brooked no opposition. "Excuse me, ladies," I began, keeping my tone measured the way my mother, Lena Harris, had always insisted. "This is private property. I'm going to have to ask you to leave." Vivian didn't even glance my way. She sipped her wine and smirked. "Oh, sweetheart," she said with syrupy malice. "You clearly don't get it. This pool belongs to the neighborhood. It's your rules. Go check the bylaws." Laughter broke out among her friends, and that old tightness clenched in my chest, the same one I'd felt as a kid being followed in stores or nudged aside in school hallways. But deeper than that, something else stirred. A vow I made at my mom's funeral. I would protect this home, her final gift to me. "There must be a mistake," I said, pulling out my phone. "I have the deed right here. All the paperwork. This pool was built with my money. It's not part of the HOA." Vivian barely blinked. "You must be new to how we do things around here." After Mr. Larson stepped down, I took charge to keep everything in order. "This pool is for community use." Something about her confidence felt too practiced, too slick. Then I noticed one of her friends pointing a phone at us, recording. "A setup?" I stood my ground. "I have official permits. Land survey reports. You can see them." She rose to her feet, barely up to my chest, but her tone cut like ice. "The real problem," she declared loudly so everyone could hear, "is that you people move into nice neighborhoods and bring everything down. 10 families had to move out because they didn't meet our standards. You'll be next." Her words struck hard, especially the part about "you people." But it was that mention of 10 families that gave me pause. Who were they? What standards had she enforced? Her voice didn't crack from a slip. It was too smooth. This was rehearsed. "You're trespassing," I said flatly. "Leave now, or I'm calling the police." Vivian let out a theatrical laugh and lifted her phone. "Oh honey, already on it." She began speaking to a dispatcher, painting me as a threatening black man harassing 4 innocent women at the supposed community pool. Her tone was so convincing even her friends shifted nervously. I pulled out my own phone, started recording. My hands were shaking. This could spiral quickly. My mom's words echoed in my ears. "This house is all you have left, Malik. Don't let anyone take it from you." 15 minutes later, Detective Emmeline Gwynn arrived. She stepped into the scene with a calm, assessing gaze. Vivian and her group went full drama. Tears, whispers, fear. "Thank God you're here," Vivian cried, dabbing her eyes. "This man's been threatening us, saying vile things." Her friends chimed in with fabricated stories of my aggressive behavior. I could barely stomach it, but I kept my voice calm. "Detective," I said, "you'll want to hear this." I played my recording. The air went still as Vivian's voice rang out clearly. "You people ruin everything. 10 families had to leave because they didn't meet our standards." Detective Gwynn's expression shifted. She looked directly at Vivian, who paled but tried to recover. "That's not the whole story," she snapped. "You can't tell from the video how intimidating he was." Gwynn didn't flinch. She asked for Vivian's proof of authority from the HOA and requested my documents. I handed over my deed and permits, everything in order. Vivian produced a binder that looked official at a glance but bore an unrecognized seal. "We've been using this pool for weeks," Vivian said stiffly. "Why is he causing problems now?" Detective Gwynn's reply was cool and firm. "The issue isn't frequency of use, it's about legal ownership. And it appears this property doesn't belong to the HOA. As the women began reluctantly packing their things, Vivian walked close to me, eyes narrowed. She didn't say anything, but the look said enough. This wasn't over. But neither was I. The summer air was heavy that night, and her parting words echoed like venom. This isn't over. I'll drown you in complaints. The HOA backed off, but her reference to Mr. Larson's abrupt departure stuck in my mind. Sleep wouldn't come, so at 2 a.m., I sat hunched over HOA records. That's when it became clear. The community pool rules were crystal. My private pool wasn't under their jurisdiction. Vivian had been bluffing. Then I found it. An email from Larson dated 6 weeks earlier. I resigned due to threats of legal action. A pattern emerged. 3 more board members had also stepped down under pressure, leaving Vivian in full control. I dug deeper, cross-checked property sales, and a chilling truth formed. 10 minority or unconventional families, Rodriguez, Patel, Thompson, had all sold fast, all below market. Fear had pushed them out. I stumbled upon a Facebook group called Save Oaklane Safety, clearly Vivian's creation. She had uploaded a doctored video of our confrontation, cutting out her offensive remarks and portraying me as aggressive. The group was filled with veiled racism, complaints about loitering, unusual decorations, and noise. That morning my doorbell rang. A tall black man, military posture, stood beside his young granddaughter. "I'm Darius Reed," he said. "We've heard about Vivian. She's been tormenting people for a while." The little girl, Lily, looked up at me wide-eyed. "Are you okay, Mr. Malik? Grandpa says she's mean." Darius handed me a recording from a recent HOA meeting. Vivian's voice filled the room, ranting about preserving the neighborhood's character. That night, I dreamed of my mother sitting in her favorite kitchen chair. "Bullies win when you stop fighting, Malik. Fight smart." I woke up with purpose. Darius called again the next morning. "Meet me at Main Street Cafe. Bring everything you've got." His file was damning. Vivian, full name Vivian Hayes, had lost her law license for discriminating against minority buyers. Her husband had divorced her, calling her controlling and unstable. Emails confirmed she bullied the old board into quitting and never held a legal HOA election. Then Tommy Lopez, the security guy I hired, called me in. His office was a wall of monitors, months of footage. Vivian sneaking around at night, dumping garbage in neighbors' yards, combing through their trash to manufacture violations. He handed me a flash drive with 18 months of evidence: harassment, fraud, civil rights abuses. But Vivian wasn't backing down. She launched a smear campaign, flooding social media and tagging news outlets with false stories painting me as a menace. Then her ex-husband Nathan called. "She's not well," he sighed. "She ruined our marriage with this obsession. I've got emails," she bragged about, "removing undesirables. Call me." The emergency HOA meeting was packed. Vivian sat confidently up front, ready to smear my name again. I walked to the mic and played a recording. Her voice spat. "You people ruin everything." Silence. Then Darius and Tommy projected video after video. Trash planting, staged complaints, racist rants. Lily's parents stood, visibly shaken. Vivian told our daughter, "Black girls shouldn't be loud. It's not ladylike." The crowd erupted in outrage. Vivian lost control. "I kept this place from turning into a ghetto," she screamed. Her mask had fallen. Nathan walked in, delivering court papers that barred her from using his name and exposed her illegal actions. A vote followed, 40-2. She was removed from the HOA. Her face twisted with defeat. But she wasn't finished. 3 nights later, at 3:17 a.m., my phone buzzed. My security system showed her in dark clothes, pouring bleach and acid into my pool, muttering, "If I can't have it, no one will." She smashed the lights and threw furniture into the water. I called 911. Darius came too. The cops arrived just as she swung a shovel, shouting nonsense about Marcus, Nathan, a lost baby, a broken life. Officers pinned her down. She was sobbing, rambling about her miscarriage and failed marriage. I stepped toward her. "I'm sorry for your loss, Vivian. But this isn't protection. It's just pain passed on." My heart ached with pity. She was shattered, but her suffering didn't excuse her hate. 3 months later, Court proceedings began. She was charged with hate crimes, fraud, assault. Her lawyer blamed PTSD, but families like Patel, Thompson, and Lily's parents told the court what she'd done. When I spoke, I said, her actions were wrong and deeply racist, but real healing needs more than punishment. If she's willing to face her harm, I believe in therapy over prison. The judge agreed. 12 months probation, mandatory counseling, and community restitution. Since then we've rebuilt. 8 families came back. Darius and I co-lead a new HOA built on fairness and transparency. My pool reopened, now named the Lena Harris Community Pool in honor of my mother. At our unity party, Lily looked up at me. "Are you a superhero, Mr. Malik?" she asked. I smiled. "Nah, just someone who stood up for home." Now kids of all colors play together. Parents share meals and memories. My mother's dream came true, a place where everyone belongs. Racism doesn't always wear a hood or shout slurs. Sometimes it hides behind rules and codes. But the truth, once revealed, breaks every mask. And when people stand together, even quiet streets can roar for justice.